Hey guys, Metal Driver here, back with another WWE review. Today I'll be looking at the Ultimate Edition, The Undertaker. So on this side you see an image of Taker, and on the back you see two more images of The Undertaker, a brief bio, his finisher, a career highlight, and a description of this figure. Alright, I'm really excited for this figure. This is one of my favorite outfit designs for Taker. We never really did get a actual elite version of this. The closest was the Network Spotlight Undertaker figure, which had this outfit design, but it had the Ministry of Darkness head sculpt. And then we did get a basic SummerSlam Taker, and I believe it was also re-released in a Taker pack. So enough of that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the Undertaker. Alright, and here we have the Phenom out of the packaging. But before we take a look at the figure, let's go ahead and look at all the accessories that he comes with. Alright, so he comes with several pieces of accessories, which include gripping hands, and an open hand to reenact the dead man salute pose, whatever that's called. A little bit of extra paint there. And he also has this thumbs up, and no, this is not to tell people he's okay. This is for his cutthroat gesture that he does before he tombstones his opponent. Now I did want to note that these hands look like they're the padded gloved hands, so these are more synonymous with Taker from the 2000s onward. I'm pretty sure in the late 90s when he started using the cutoff gloves that they were not those padded fighting gloves. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. And then he does come with two additional interchangeable head sculpts. None of these are brand new, we have seen them before. So this one with his hair slicked back, I like that we got this because this is a look that Taker had back in the late 90s. He would always have his hair flipped back. So again, this is not brand new. We did see this originally with the ringside exclusive Kane as the Undertaker. So they are the exact same head sculpt. The main difference is that this one has all the black paint around it because he's disguised as Kane. And also his eyes are pretty bug-eyed. So it looks like Taker has seen some shit. This one though, the eyes are corrected, so that looks really nice. The paint looks good on the face. The only thing is that this sideburn piece here by the hair is not lined up correctly. Then he has this open mouth head sculpt with his tongue sticking out. Paint looks really good. There's a little bit of flesh tone on the teeth. The eyes look good. They're rolled back, so that looks really nice. And as I mentioned before, the extra head sculpts are not brand new. This head sculpt was originally released with Basic Series 100 Undertaker, which I did pop off and put it on an elite body. And here's Undertaker's entrance robe, and this looks really nice. It's really big. It is a hard plastic, although there is some movability to the plastic here. He does have a soft goods cape on the back, so that is really nice. The detailing on the front looks really good. All the buttons are painted. These side pieces are painted pretty well. Get the shoulder pads here look pretty good. There is some sloppiness here and there. It's not 100% perfect, but it does look nice. And on the back, you've got more of that design, so that looks really cool. So this was an entrance robe that Taker wore during the Attitude Era, but it was mostly without this collar piece here and without the cape. So these two parts are from when he wore this at WrestleMania 14 against Kane. Now I do believe he wore this exact same one, I think one more time, but it is nice to have this. Then here he is with the entrance gear on, so it looks really nice on Taker. So that looks really good, and I do recommend popping these arms off in order to get the figure into the plastic coat. Otherwise it's going to be very difficult if you don't pop them off, and they do come off really easily. Alright, and here is the default head sculpt that comes right out of the packaging. And when I first saw the promo images of this head sculpt, I thought, man, it does look like Michael Jackson. And sure enough, when I looked at all the comments online, pretty much everyone was saying the same thing. He didn't look so much like the Lord of Darkness, instead he looked a little more than anything else. So I'm wondering if Mattel took all those comments and those criticism to heart, and they must have changed it. Either that or the photos were really bad, because it does not look like that anymore. So thankfully, the head sculpt turned out very well. I actually like this. The face underneath the hair looks really good, sculpted really well. The paint looks good on the eyes, the eyebrows, and the beard. I really love how the hair is sculpted. It's coming down on the face, it looks wet. So this is perfect for Undertaker's entrance. So that sculpting on the hair looks really good. And then you do see that there is no back piece, it's all swayed to the front, and that's perfect because it makes this head sculpt really easy to sit on the figure with the entrance robe and the back collar, so that's nice. And then while we're looking at the back, he's got these painted studs here on the back of the shoulders, so that looks really good. And then taking a look at the front, Looking at the front shoulders, you get this nice cross or X design right there, painted pretty well. Studs are painted pretty decently. Same thing on the other side, so that looks really nice. Then looking at the front, you've got his vest with these X designs, painted really well. Sculpting looks good. If you move the torso up, you see more of the sculpt work. So Mattel didn't just go cheap on that and cut that halfway. So this is really cool. And I did mention at the beginning of the video that we did not get an official 1998 Elite Undertaker. We did get a Ministry of Darkness Taker with this outfit. So that is this one right here. So that is the comparison between the two outfits. So even though it is pretty much the same outfit, just with slight differences, this is Ministry of Darkness Taker, not the 1998 Undertaker. Tattoos on the arms look pretty good, painted pretty well. You don't see all of them because of the elbow pad, but that's okay. It does have a butterfly joint in there. Tattoos on the other arm looks pretty good. The hands are these sort of gripping hands. They're not fully closed. I don't know why they did that. Would have been better off if it was actual fisted hands, but whatever. So I do like this upper body. I like this V-shape. From the promo images, I wasn't sure if I was going to like this, but I do like how that looks. Then looking at the legs, you've got more of that X design going down, so that looks really nice. Painted pretty well. Looks good on the other side as well. Then you've got some basic looking boots. Nothing special there. And then comparing that with the Network Spotlight Undertaker. So instead of this X design, which he had in 97 and early to mid 98, the Network one has the Taker symbol. So he didn't start using that on this outfit design until like late 98. Then into 1999. Alright, then going over the articulation. The head is on a ball joint, so it does look really high up. It goes that far down. Can turn side to side and tilt. Now the other head sculpts probably won't have as much range going up because of how the hair is on the back. There is a butterfly joint. The arms do go that high up. They can rotate all the way around. There is a bicep swivel, which is a bit loose, so that's a bit annoying. Let's see if I can fix that with a bit of Pludge floor care, which, by the way, you can see in my video on how to do that. He does have double jointed elbows, which don't get full range of motion due to the plastic of the elbow pad. There is a swivel and hinge at the wrist. He has a ball joint at the diaphragm, which allows him to crunch that far forward, that far back. He can pivot, not really twist, but that's okay because he has a waist swivel. There are ball joints at the hips, which allow the legs to go that far out. They can go that high up. There is a thigh cut. He has double jointed knees, a swivel at the top of the boot, hinge at the ankle, which allows it to go that high up, that far down, slight ankle pivot, and toe articulation. Alright, and here is the Ultimate Edition Undertaker next to the Network Spotlight Ministry of Darkness Undertaker. And I did swap the head on the Elite Taker with a basic 93 Undertaker head sculpt. And then here he is next to the same Elite figure, but with the basic SummerSlam 98 head sculpt. So that is what I've been using as my 1998 Undertaker figure. Then here he is next to the Defining Moments Ministry of Darkness Undertaker with the basic 93 head sculpt. And finally, here he is next to the Hall of Champions Unholy Alliance Undertaker figure. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the new Ultimate Edition Undertaker figure? Well, first of all, I'm really impressed that Mattel fixed the head sculpt that we see right here, or at least that's what it seems like. Again, it could have been just a bad photo in the promo images, but that one really looked like Michael Jackson.
That's ignorant.
So I'm glad it didn't turn out that way. I think this figure looks a lot better than what I initially thought. Although I did want to mention here, when I was looking over the accessories, I did mention that this hand is intended to be his victory celebration or his salute pose that he does, and I'm realizing that's the wrong hand. See, Undertaker does that with his right hand, not his left hand, so... And in the promo images that were recently released from ringside, it shows him posing on the left side, not the right, so... Not sure why Mattel did that. I mean, come on guys. You should know how the Undertaker poses, right? So, that's a bit of a mistake, so be aware of that. Probably not that big of a deal to most people, but that's kind of annoying, especially for someone who has OCD like me, so that's gonna bother me. But it's not enough for me to say this figure isn't worth it. Should you buy it? Yes. This is one of those Undertaker attires and looks that I've been desperately wanting for a long time, and I'm glad we finally have it, and especially in Ultimate Edition form. Even though the alternate head sculpts may not be brand new, I think they still work, they look good. I'm really happy to have this in my collection. And so far, I would say this is my favorite Taker figure. So you definitely don't want to miss out on this one, because the Ultimate Editions tend to spike up in price after they sell out. So definitely pick this one up. Go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you want to get a shout out in the next video, just leave a comment down below. Just like Aslan Fulgore on the last video with Cactus Jack saying it was a pretty decent figure. A major shout out to him because he always leaves comments in my videos, so that really helps out. Follow me on social media so you can check out all my wrestling figure photography, and I'll see you next time.